In a rapidly urbanizing world, promoting sustainable housing is essential for improving quality of life. However, achieving this is challenging due to complex social, economic, and environmental factors worldwide. To address these challenges, policymakers and designers must reconsider what defines adequate housing in a world shaped by resource disparities, economic inequality, and cultural diversity. Attention to the context is also crucial. For example, the meaning of adequate housing in the Netherlands may differ from that in Ethiopia. We believe that there is a need for global improvement in how sustainable housing is approached. While there is substantial expert advice on policy making and governance, it often comes from narrow disciplinary perspectives and addressing specific societal challenges. We must move beyond actions that focus only on one aspect of sustainability. For instance, what value is there in a project that excels economically but fails socially? Should we invest in projects that are environmentally sustainable but lack social and economic viability? An integrated approach is often missing in discussions on sustainable housing. Although there's growing interest in promoting inclusive, sustainable, and resilient housing, the emphasis tends to be on policy and management, overlooking the critical role of design decision-making and livelihoods. This MOOC will argue that sustainable housing cannot be achieved by focusing on a single aspect. Instead, we must consider the interdependence of social spatial environments and the economic context. Moreover, policy making and management strategies should be complemented by integrating design decision-making and community participation as key elements in creating truly sustainable housing. Our aim is to apply the motto pars pro toto, which is a Latin sentence that means addressing the whole by focusing on its key constitutive parts. Considering this strategy, in this lecture, we will give you some insights about 3 themes that we have singled out to develop in more detail as key factors to promote a more sustainable housing design. These 3 themes are social cultural adequacy, affordability, and materiality. The reason for choosing these themes is based on our belief that in housing design, each of them addresses a key aspect related with the 3 famous vectors of sustainability: social, economic, and environmental. To give you further insight into the reasons for choosing these 3 themes, we will now briefly discuss why they matter for those interested in promoting adequate housing as a key condition for a more sustainable urban future. Let us begin by discussing the theme of social cultural adequacy in housing design. Social cultural adequacy goes beyond the physical structure of a house, emphasizing the importance of context. A well-designed home should align with specific cultural identities and dwelling practices, while also promoting universal values such as social support and individual well-being. In this MOOC, we will explore social cultural adequacy through 3 key lenses: social inclusion, community engagement, and cultural sensitivity. Social inclusion in residential communities is essential for creating environments where everyone feels valued and supported. Housing design must consider the diverse needs of future residents, including varying accessibility requirements and socio-economic backgrounds. Sustainable housing should be developed with direct input from the communities it will serve. Community engagement processes are vital in involving residents in the design and development, ensuring that local needs and concerns are prioritized. Additionally, housing design should encourage community engagement in the form of social interaction. Cultural sensitivity contributes to the long-term sustainability of housing by ensuring that designs are appropriate and responsive to the cultural needs and preferences of future residents. Let us now move on to the next theme, affordability. It is important to recognize that affordability is not an absolute concept, but varies according to countries, economies, political systems, and target groups. Affordability involves more than just housing costs, such as land, labor, and materials. Political decisions and economic mechanisms, often beyond the reach of design strategies, also play a significant role. However, design decisions can significantly influence a housing project's affordability. In this MOOC, we will explore affordability in housing design through three lenses: density, seriality, and connectivity. In housing, density can be measured in several ways, such as floor space index, FSI, dwelling units per hectare, or residents per hectare. The density of a project is closely tied to the availability of cost of land. When land is scarce, achieving affordability often requires maximizing the ratio of floor space to site area. Now let's talk about the role of seriality in affordability. While the one-size-fits-all approach has been criticized for ignoring diversity, customized one-off designs can also be costly and reduce affordability. A design approach that leverages the benefits of seriality, such as economies of scale, without the downsides of mass repetition, can support the creation of adequate, sustainable, and affordable housing. Housing design can enhance project affordability by fostering physical and mental connections between residents and the broader context. Connectivity impacts affordability at various scales. The location of a housing neighborhood within the city affects land, infrastructure costs, and residents' commuting expenses. Additionally, how a dwelling unit connects to the ground can influence its potential to generate income, such as being used as a shop, thereby improving household income and promoting more affordable living conditions. Let us now discuss our third theme, materiality. Materiality plays a leading role in defining the multisensory attributes of a living environment. It means not only the physical properties of building materials, but also their intangible characteristics. We will explore materiality in sustainable housing design through three key lenses: comfort, durability, and aesthetic appeal. Comfort is often undervalued in sustainable living design, typically associated with costly materials and seen as expendable in favor of other priorities. However, factors like thermal and acoustic comfort significantly impact public health and the quality of life in a community. Proper knowledge and the ability to select suitable materials influence the livability of residential environments. Durability is another crucial determinant of a construction's sustainability. It is closely tied to the environmental context of the project and significantly affects the building's performance over time. Lastly, the aesthetic appeal of the materials chosen for a housing project is essential for its resilience and sustainability. A strong emotional connection between residents and their living environment fosters regular maintenance and promotes a sense of pride and identity. In this lecture, we explain the reasoning behind our decision to focus on social-cultural adequacy, affordability, and materiality as the three key themes we associate with the development of sustainable approaches to housing design. For each of these three themes, we have also highlighted three specific lenses in each of them. This lecture can be synthesized with a three-ring figure explaining our interest in sustainable housing design: the inner ring, through 3 complementary topics, the middle ring, each of these subdivided in 3 lenses, the outer ring. We call this 3-ring figure the Sustainable Housing Design Compass. It is important to note, however, that each group of 3 lenses is not necessarily attached to one topic. In fact, we like to think that the outer ring can move around and be placed in various positions and still make sense. We hope you will join us in this journey of discovery of ways to engage in housing design with the aim of improving our living environments and our life together in a world in constant change. Thank you for watching.